What's good YouTube, it's your boy ToyDualer here, and today I'm going to be doing a Horntail run on my Dual Blader. So last time when I made my video on my 5 favorite things in Maplestory, a lot of you guys wanted to know what my 5 least favorite things are in Maplestory. So today I'm going to talk about my 5 least favorite things in Maplestory. Let's get this started. Alright, so the first thing is how much NX unbalances Maplestory. If you buy NX, or if you have access to NX regularly, then you're going to be much better off than anybody else who doesn't buy NX or have a lot of NX. NX unbalances Maplestory so much because there are so many great things you could buy with NX that you can't buy regularly, such as Miracle Cubes or Marvel Machine tickets. And when you have stuff like that, it's very easy to get much stronger because with Marvel Machine tickets, you're able to get really strong boss items that are supposed to be dropping from bosses, but for whatever reason Nexon disabled them from dropping from bosses and they made them an NX exclusive item, so that doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, NX doesn't only affect damage, it also affects the way you look, because without NX you can't really customize the way you look that much. You're gonna be stuck with like the default hairstyles and stuff, and some of the NX ones look really nice, so it would be nice seeing those for free instead of you having to spend like $4 for a virtual haircut. But yeah, there are so many ways that NX unbalances the game, and I could probably make a whole separate video on that, but I'm just gonna move on to the next topic because I don't want to be here all day talking about how much NX unbalances Maplestory. So yeah, the next thing I don't like about Maplestory is how doing quests in Maplestory aren't rewarding at all. Most of the quests in Maplestory require a lot of like collecting and gathering and hunting, and then they don't really have much of a reward at all. They give really low amounts of EXP compared to just training, and that just makes it so it's not even worth doing it. And then usually in games, questing gives you like decent items that you can use, but in Maplestory, questing doesn't really give you any usable items or anything. Sure, there are a few quests that are really good, like the quest in Maplestory that gives you 7.5 million mesos for killing a boss, and it's only available to do once per day, but there aren't really many quests like that, so yeah, most quests in Maplestory just aren't worth doing, and I wish they would change that. Next up is how classes in Maplestory don't really have specific roles. In most MMORPGs, or just RPGs in general, classes have like different kinds of roles, like there will be a healer class, there will be a range class, a tank class. But in Maplestory, they like combined it all into one thing, which means you don't really need like a healer class or a range class or something. You could just solo all the bosses and solo all the monsters, which makes it a really solo game. I really wish Maplestory would like change a little bit so classes would have like more individual roles, like a healer like a bishop would actually be more needed in the game or something, or range classes would actually be more relevant, because right now there isn't really any advantages of being a ranged class because ranged classes are barely ranged at all. If you're ranged, that doesn't mean you're gonna be like protected from mobs at all. If you're ranged, most mobs have long range skills anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And I really wish they would just expand more on class roles and make the game more like social and party oriented. Next up is, I hate how Nexon has this cycle going of releasing an overpowered class, nerfing it 6 months later, and then rebuffing it 6 months after that to be even stronger than it was originally. If Nexon wants a class to be a certain way, they should just leave it at like a certain power level and not change it every 6 months, because that gets really annoying. Now I see why they do this, because they want to have like class rotation and to get people to spend more money on the game, but it just annoys me a little bit. And the last thing I don't like about Maplestory is how many different kinds of ways we have to upgrade our equips. This might seem a little weird to you guys, but let me explain it. First off, we have regular scrolling, which is fine. A game like Maplestory needs regular scrolling. Then we have potential, which makes things a little more complicated, but we've had it for such a long time now that it's kind of like settled into the community, and the game would be completely different without potential. Then we have nebulites, which is just basically another line of potential, but it's not affected at all by like cubes or anything, and you have to buy a different nebulite, and it's separate from regular potential, and it just makes it a whole different way to upgrade, and it starts to get annoying there. And then we have bonus potential, which is basically 3 more lines of potential. Why? Why does this exist? We don't need bonus potential. And with all these different kinds of ways to upgrade your equips, it starts getting really expensive just to upgrade one equip. If you want to have the best kind of equip, you're going to have to perfectly scroll it, which if you don't use an NX item like a protection scroll or a shield scroll, it's going to be really hard to do. Then you're going to want to perfectly cube your equip, which generally will take a lot of NX cubes to get perfect stats on. Then you're going to want to get nebulites, which you can't really obtain that easily anymore, and hopefully they make it easier to obtain nebulites again. again soon. And then you have bonus potential, which again is another cash shop upgrade. So with all those together, it starts getting really expensive, and it's just ridiculous. We don't need that many different kinds of ways to upgrade our equips. 1, 2, or 3 is fine, but anything after that is just too much. And there you guys have it, my 5 least favorite things about Maplestory. Now don't get me wrong, I still love Maplestory and it's a great game, but every game has its faults and those are my main problems with Maplestory. So I'd love to know what you guys don't like about Maplestory. Let me know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the video guys, and see you guys next time.